What up, what up, what up, y'all? Welcome back, Complex Live. I appreciate you for wherever you're watching. I am your humble and host, Jordan Rose, joined with my good friend and music editor, Dimas. How you feeling, man?
What's up? I'm feeling great. What up, baby? How you feeling?
List day, man. List day.
Every day is list day.
Every day is list day at Complex. That's a fact. If you're tuning in, today we dropped our 50 best albums of the 21st century across all genres. That's pop, rock, hip hop, R&B, from 2000 to 2025. Some people say that
it's controversial.
Some people say the 21st century started in 2001,
which might technically be true, but
you know what?
It's not true for us.
We say that what we say to you is fucking relax. Yeah. Okay, this list is for fun. It's serious, but it's for fun to get the people talking. Dimas, do you remember when we first embarked on this list? The undertaking it was to compile even just the first round of albums to consider, I feel like was a lot.
I mean, it was like, not to say like there's harder jobs out there, but this shit was a bitch, right?
Yo!
Because it's like, how do you, it's 25 years, you know, of music, like 25 years of music and albums. How do you like just get all of that information and break it down into 50? Is just insane. So we basically started from this huge like doc sheet and just like everyone just throwing in a whole bunch of albums, stuff that we grew up with, the stuff that raised us. You know, you were born. I was born before the 2000s. You were born in the 2000s.
I was not born into the 2000s.
No, you were?
I was born at the beginning of 1999. Okay,
same
January.
Shit,
so essentially, I was in '98, baby.
Same
essentially.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no, you
like,
count.
I don't fully remember. Like, I don't remember the dawn of the 21st century, but I was alive, not fully conscious, but alive nonetheless.
What's the first album you remember?
The first album I remember, shit, probably like consciously remember. Probably like the Carter 3 or some shit.
Okay, all right.
But then I go back, obviously, and I go listen to all of the older music that came out before I was alive. Like, obviously, like, Love the Blueprint and shit.
Now, you know ball.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, but yes, like, I think a lot of the people who are commenting on this list weren't born or were born in the 21st century, which might be the reason why we're seeing certain things. But honestly, though, I don't see a lot of unk talk. I don't see a lot of, like, old hate. I think that, you know.
I mean, I think a lot of the unks are off the internet, you know, or they're on Facebook or whatever. I don't know. You know, it's not, yeah, you know, I do think the Complex audience is pretty broad, but it's much younger. And so, yeah, like, you don't see a lot of, like, I don't fucking know, where's Wu-Tang, whatever.
No shade.
you know, I love Wu-Tang, right? But it's definitely more so the things that we quote unquote snubbed are from the last decade, 2010s. You know, the Uzis, and we could talk about all that shit, but yeah, you know.
So we're gonna get into that, chat, but I think first things first, because I know a lot of people might have seen this list on socials, just the albums listed out. You didn't read the intro, which I understand, social media era. So like, let's just explain. I think, Dimas, you wrote this intro, right?
I did.
So you laid out really well in this second to last paragraph, the ground rules, what the criteria was that we were basing this list off of, which is, I think, what a lot of people miss, the key context of why things are ranked where. So do you want to break down that, what our criteria was for this list?
Yeah, when you say best, you tell, I don't know, you ask 20 people what best means, you get 20 different answers. So I think when it comes to a complex list, always, we obviously factor in quality, which can be subjective, but what we really factor in is impact, which is not as subjective, and also like long tail impact and influence, right? And I think that sometimes people kind of struggle with that idea, I would say, right? Because they'll look at, you know, they'll look at something that might be artistically great, whatever the fuck, and they'll be like, all right, well, how, you know, then they'll look at something that sold 10 million. And, you know, like you know, I think it's very important for us to kind of factor in the stuff that's really moving pop culture, that's really impactful in the biggest way possible. So we factor in impact, sales, you know, are people trying to 10 years later mimic the shit you were doing back then? All of that gets factored in when we kind of like negotiate all this shit out. You know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're involved with these lists. Anything like, how would you describe it?
I mean, yeah, I think that it's a combination. It's like we're playing this delicate dance of chart success and hit singles and commercial appeal with then the things that are more subjective, which is like everyone who was deliberating on this list has different taste, right? Like certain people were hating on Blonde and they didn't fuck with it. I'm not gonna say who, maybe they're in the chat. There were certain people that really didn't fuck with Blonde, but it's like, just because some individuals who didn't like certain albums, that doesn't completely sway the vote. You know, it's like we're taking everything into consideration, the commercial, the long tail impact, like you're describing. Like, you know, I know a lot of people were commenting on, chill, I'm not getting, all right, in the chat, man, B-Friend, I wasn't trying to call you out, but B-Friend in the chat is owning his Blonde hate. Shout out to B-Friend in the chat.
Man.
But, you know,
take.
It was an amalgamation of a lot of different things that we distilled down into deciding on the list. And yeah, so it's like, I see a lot of the commentary online was that, you know, just like on the Cardis and the Uzis and like what did make the list, what didn't make the list. It's like Cardi is ranked where he is, like Whole Lotta Red is ranked where it's at on the list because of its long tail impact. It's like Whole Lotta Red helped set in motion an entire wave of underground rap that we are now listening to. So it's like, even if you think it should be higher, I think it's pretty fucking high. I think it's at like,
I think it probably could be a little higher.
Where is it? We put it at, Whole Lotta Red is,
we put out, I want to say
at 15.
Yeah.
That's pretty, it's over SOS, it's over Beyonce's Lemonade, Supreme Clientele. So it's over some classic records. And I think one of the reasons why, for people who don't understand why Cardi is ranked as high as he is, if you think he's ranked too high, it's because of that long tail impact, even if your taste doesn't align with the Whole Lotta Red. Because I don't personally like Whole Lotta Red. Like, I'm a Dialect kind of guy. I do not fuck with Whole Lotta Red. I cannot really go back and listen to it, but I can acknowledge its impact. So that's kind of where,
well, I wonder if a good place to start here is just like looking at our top 10, I guess.
Okay.
And I don't know, and just kind of like, yeah, because I guess that's what people really focus on.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I don't know. Should we count down, count up, or?
No, yeah, we could start at 10 and then go count down to 1. So let me just scroll. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Blonde, Nostalgia Ultra over Blonde. Okay, we just having arguments in the chat about Blonde.
See, I would like to talk about Nostalgia Ultra, but
we'll get there. We'll get there. So let's run down the top 10, man. So at number 10, we have The Weeknd's House of Balloons. A solid album. And then after we run down the top 10, we could run back and talk about why each of them were where they were. Number 9 is Beyonce's self-titled Beyonce.
Classic.
Number 8 is Blonde's. Too low in my opinion, but we'll get there. Number 7 is Take Care. Again, see, this is the thing. It's like team group decision. Like, we all agree on the list, even though we all debate day and night over what should be where, you know?
You wrote that blurb though? So shout out
I
to you.
did write that blurb. Number 6 is Kendrick Lamar's Damn. I saw some love that we put Damn where it was.
I think that's probably one of the more surprising picks in the top 10, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think other people will go, I don't know, Pimp a Butterfly or whatever.
Yeah.
But Damn is, I don't know. Damn is the one.
I mean, Pulitzer Prize, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with Damn. But whatever. 5, Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. May not make the 21st century to some people's opinions because she came out in 2000. But whatever, we're not playing the semantics game.
Don't listen to that shit. No, that counts.
And then B-Fred is mad funny in the chat. And then number 4, we have Rihanna's Auntie. Number 3, Jay-Z, The Blueprint. And honestly, when you get to the top 3, it's really like interchangeable in some regards, or rather the number 3, number 2. Like, you got The Blueprint, and then number 2, you have Give It Your Die Trying. I think those two albums could kind of be interchangeable depending on who you talk to. And then, all right, best album of the 21st century is Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So that's the top 10. Do you want to start with the album specifically, or you just want to start at number 10?
Let's start with 1. Did we get that? Did we get number 1 right?
Okay. Let's start at 1. Did we get number 1 right, chat? Do you have the YouTube chat? Because I only have Twitch. I don't know if the people are talking to us.
I do. They're saying this is Unk Talk.
This is Unk Talk? Okay.
Maybe me, but I don't know.
I don't think this is Unk Talk, chat. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came out in 2010. I vividly remember exactly where I was when I first listened to this album, even though I was like 12 or something. Maybe too young to listen to this shit, but like I remember the era, and I mean, you wrote this blurb, Dimas. So do you want to talk about why this is the best
I
album?
think you put it in the right words. It's like it's fucking era, right? Because you
Yeah.
had all the well, first, I guess the context is that Kanye West had just taken a lot of shit for the whole VMAs interrupting Taylor Swift thing. This was like he got canceled before canceled was kind of a thing. And so, you know, he disappears and he lays low and he just like links with everyone, right? Just all the fucking superheroes. It's Q-Tip, RZA, it's I don't know, Kid Cudi, it's Big Sean, it's Pusha, who, you know, wasn't really with Kanye before that, with Rick Ross, Jay, you know, just everyone you can imagine, and just create, like with the goal of just creating like the ultimate fucking album, you know? So it was like very kind of like focused, very locked in. Obviously they went to Hawaii. It's like a famous Complex story that Noah did, who's our boss, just like documenting all of that in Hawaii. And so like this is like when you think of that album, you just think of a fucking era, right? You think of the before that, they were doing the Good Friday drops where they were dropping shit every Friday. Every fucking song is a banger. Some of that made the album. You think of like the visuals, you think of like that red suit. You remember that shit where he's walking out with the spotlight?
Yep, the
he's just
late night
like
performance. Yes, playing Runaway.
Yeah, man, you remember all that shit. So I don't know, man. It's so distinct. Might be a little chalky, might be maybe a little obvious, but to me, it's like clearly like the best of the best. And I don't know if you've seen like what's a comparable moment where someone so dominated the zeitgeist, you could just see it so vividly, all the imagery in it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think our top three in the Blueprint, Get Rich or Die Trying, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy all have cases for being number one. Get Rich or Die Trying is like obviously a commercial juggernaut with massive hits that are still played today. The Blueprint is, in my opinion, probably one of the best rap albums of all time. Dropped on 9/11. People went out and bought the album.
I bought Blueprint and Ghetto Fabulous. Shout out to Fabulous.
It was a New York-centric album that came out on 9/11 and still had the level of commercial success that it did. So there's like that lore that I always think about when I think about the Blueprint. But yeah, it's like, you know, the Blueprint has like Izzo and shit, which I love. Renegade, classic rap album, rap records. But then My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy has like these arena records. It has Runaway, you know, like it has All of the Lights, Power. It has all of these massive, massive songs that would stand the test of time and also just solidify. I mean, it's probably Kanye's best album ever. And I saw like, you know, we have, shout out to the Kirkos and of the world. We have that. Up, we have, you know, the commentary from them, which we're gonna get into the online discourse. But I saw a lot of, you know, I didn't see any complaints in our comments, or in any of the online discourse about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy being at one. I think this is the first time I didn't see anyone really angry at our number one pick, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
people be hating.
Yeah, I do think that there's like maybe a consensus around that. And you know, I think the shit with Kanye is that he changed after that album. He just lost his fucking mind a little bit. Yeah. You know, it's so like messy and different. And then Pablo, which I love, is like another one where, you know, he was fixing shit as the album was released.
Yeah, I'm a fix wolves,
iconic.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, you never really seen again, that polished, that put together, that like triumphant. You know, it kind of, for better or worse, it kind of like went the opposite way, you know? Yeah. And I don't know, you know.
W's in the chat for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. What album facts. What album did we forget to put on the list? I saw, we'll also get into that. I want us to work through the top 10. I know Insno's also talking about start at 50. Insno, you bugging. There's 50 albums on this damn list. All right, we start at 50. We're gonna get to. We're not gonna have time for any of the other shit. All right,
what you got to do? It's only
like we're gonna get to what the people want. Jay-Z's Monster verse Almost Ruined My Beautiful. Honestly, listen, I can't lie to you. Watching these describe
100%.
why he loves Jay-Z's Monsterverse gave me a newfound appreciation.
Bro, that verse was always good. I don't know what people are fucking talking
It's
about.
because he starts it with the listing of the monsters. Like I think if you can get past the
Like the voice and
King
shit.
Kong, a zombie with no conscience. If you can get past that part, like in fact, Monster, like a classic Nicki verse. And honestly, people sleep on Ye's verse on that song. So yeah, there's just like no skips, no missed moments. Everything about the album is massive. The rollout, the cultural, like just the cultural moment that happened around it. Runaway is probably all-time song, one of the best songs of all time in general. So yeah, I think that you're right. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's kind of an obvious, very complex number one pick, but also it's the right pick. So, you know,
I mean, listen, people shit on us all the time about like we're trolling, we're fucking with people. But like I think that we all like really care too much about these lists, right?
Yeah.
And we all trying to put, you know, we're never trolling, we're never kind of like trying to, you know, we would like a reaction, but we're not like faking shit to get a reaction.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know?
None of this is rage bait. Like we're not rage baiting the top 10 of the best albums of the 21st century. Like it takes weeks to put this shit together. Large committees of people arguing for hours upon hours. So like we take this shit seriously. And that's what we here talking about it live with y'all, chat, because we give a fuck about this shit. Number 2, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't know. Do you have any who wrote this blurb? Shout out to A Beam who wrote the blurb. I mean, you know, again, kind of a no-brainer. 50 Cent's best album, one of the best.
An
rap
album
albums.
that's probably maybe a little underrated right now. If you like, kind of like now I'm gonna sound a little unkish, but you had to have been there to see like the real kind of impact of just how like there's like when radio really mattered, every fucking song was on the radio. Like I've never seen that since or before. Like every single. You could just randomly put, and not like some late night shit. It'll be like 3:45, and you'll hear, you know, fuck, you know, I love the punk, you know, like every song on there was a radio. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those albums. Probably a little underrated. Do you have like a strong relationship with that album or no?
I mean, like, I feel like this because I'm from Jersey and I would go out in Jersey and New York growing up. It's like you hear like on the radio still to this day, you hear Hot 97, you hear Funk Flex. There's certain staple songs and records that just get played in empty space in like the current radio cycle. And Give Rich or Die Trying, which is over a 2-decade-old album at this point. It's like 22-year-old album still getting songs that are still played regularly that people who were born after the album came out know. I think that speaks to it. And also just like, I don't know, maybe it's helped. Maybe the movie also helped, but like Get Rich or Die Trying, like that phrase, that title is also iconic, you know?
You also have kind of like the long tail of like Many Men, which still...
Yeah, like it gets like Pop Smoke, like you have so many...
Trump.
Yeah, Trump walking out to it after he fucking got shot and shit. Yeah, like exactly. Like there's certain, like, you know, Many Men is even like even recently when, you know, 50 Cent's beefing and fucking our current mayor-elect, shout out to Mamdani, you know, like he's on with Ari Melber talk about some, you know, like he still plays Many Men, even though 50 Cent don't fuck with him. So it's like shit like that. It's like there's songs that transcend music and are become like ingrained in the cultural zeitgeist, whatnot. So
100%.
Get Rich or Die Trying is an easy pick. Same with The Blueprint. I think, you know, my probably fave Hove album, and we have the Black Album on here. We have other Hove albums that came out this decade. We have a few Hove albums actually that are on this list. Probably could have been more. The God MC, you know, but it's like
I think what we got is good.
Like I personally believe, and this is coming from someone who take Black Album off, add 444, instant hating. Even though shout out to 444.
No, 444 is great though.
444 is great. We also that was another kind of rule that we tried to set for ourselves. We're putting this shit together is. We didn't want to overload the list with too many albums from the same person. That's why you only see 2 Drake albums, even though it's not like we didn't include albums that were deserving because of that rule, which we'll get into, because I know there are certain Drake albums that we discussed that we thought should be on here, or some people thought that should be on here that isn't. So we didn't like limit ourselves to that rule, but we can only include so many albums from the same person. So I do wish we could have put 444 on there, but outvoted. But yeah, you know, The Blueprint, I think You Don't Know It is like a perfect rap song. it has like every quality and element that a rap song needs to have. Like the aspirationalness, the crazy ass beat, the storytelling, the wordplay, the rhyme scheme, like
Facts.
like never follow orders, shit face, get your shit straight. Fuck this is Big J. Will not lose ever. Like it's just fucker. It's just so fucking hard that, you know. And then again, when you put the context of when it came out, like, and how it still sold the way it did despite it coming out on 9/11, it's just like there's the lore. Like that's some type of shit you will never ever see again.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. And then yeah, definitely. I mean, he was stepping all over Mobb Deep, and he was up on Nas at that point. And yeah, you don't know, 100% perfect song. Sell water to a whale, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the fucking great.
I am a hustler, baby. I sell water to the whale.
Like,
I was
come on,
born
bro.
to get cake. You move over and switch. So wait, what is YouTube chat saying anything? Are they talking at all?
No, they're still calling us unks. So
all right, YouTube chat. All right, y'all. Like, come on now. This is Unk Hour though. I will say, like, the top 10 is very, or at least the top 3, very unkish, very pre-2010 albums. What's number 4? Number 4 is Anti
by Rihanna, which is it's about to turn 10 years, which is fucking
crazy. Her last album, her most recent album, also.
Her most recent album, I agree, will be her last album. I think it's over.
You think so? You think she's not dropping again?
Nah, yeah, I think it's cooked. But you know, I think that, you know, before this, she was like known for just dropping out like 2 albums a year, once every year. And I think this one took years to come out. If my memory's serving me right. I think like 3-4 years or whatever. And so like it was like highly anticipated. And it was just so like, I don't know, like eccentric and different. And she was playing with all these different sounds. And, you know, there was like even before the album came out, there was like, oh, she's locking in with Travis Scott, right? She's gonna do the Travis Scott album, or she's gonna do remember the song with Kanye and Paul McCartney?
Oh, 4 or 5 seconds of violin.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that she was kind of like, she didn't know what direction she wanted the album go. And then she kind of just put it all these different segments together. And I think it's actually to the benefit of the album. I love that album. You know?
Yeah, like I'm trying to remember, like if I look up track list right now, because I don't
Needed
even
Me, Sex With Me.
Yeah, like there's like some joints on here, like
the shit with SZA.
Yeah, like the track list is like Consideration, Kiss It Better, shout out to my homie Maine. That's like his wedding song is fucking Kiss It Better. Very weird, but like Work.
Is that weird?
He loves that fucking like that. It is like I appreciate that song more because of how hard he rides for that fucking song. Are we Unks chat? I'm not Unk. This is Unk Hour, okay? I'm letting Dimas get his shit off. This is Unk Hour. We're gonna get the fucking Cardi and shit. You got cameraman Nick Bianco in the background. He hears Cardi mentioned. We're gonna get there.
Is Unk a physical thing or is it a mindset, you know?
You know what? No, it's a mindset. It's definitely a mindset, and you have the mindset. But we need that. We need that type of balance. But yeah, like you look at this, you know, Work. There's a lot of higher. There's just a lot of really sex with me. So amazing. Yeah. So there's like, I think there's a lot of joints that still get played, and literally, you just put it into perspective of like we were just saying. She hasn't dropped an album since this.
No.
And is still as famous as she is, she did a Super Bowl essentially off this.
Performing this shit, right? Yeah.
She did, what was that, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So she was able to do a Super Bowl off of an album that came out in 2016. So I think that's another testament to its impact. Again, long tail impact chat. That's like kind of one of the big qualities we were assessing. So that's Rihanna Anti at 4. And to round out the top 5, Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. I mean, you know. No shade. No shade. Shout out to the real Slim Shady. Shout out to Eminem and all that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this was another just like monster album, monster era. I think just incredible rapping. I think now I think Eminem at this time didn't really sound like, he sounded so loose with it. You know, I think years later, maybe you could kind of hear him thinking a little, but like just like crazy flows, just a very like a violent album, right? In a lot of different ways. Maybe like you know, some songs you don't like draw on the whip. I don't know. Like, you know, I'm not sure if you're gonna put Kim on. Like,
sorry, so you didn't have to jump right there. Like,
you know,
but yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, but just like an amazing snapshot of a moment, and like really, this album was like the biggest shit in the world at the time. You know, he became a legit superstar. You know, all over TRL magazine covers, went on tour, just like the biggest shit. And also, like, you want to speak about Long Tail and Zeitgeist, Stan, right? Like that,
That's
just
what I
like
say.
literally invented like the concept of something that we deal with, well, not us, but like just people deal with every day, right? Just kind of like this obsessiveness, this sort of like weird parasocial fucking energy that's out there. Yeah, classic album. I don't know how you feel about it.
I
but
mean,
we can move
no,
on.
look, I pulled up the track list so chat could see, you know, kind of what we're talking about. But yeah, you look at the stands, like you look at the Real Slim Shady, these massive records that I think even if you're not a fan of the complete body of work, or if you don't listen to the complete body of work, you can still respect and acknowledge those records, you know, because they're so big and like the Stand, create entire words in the dictionary or redefine words in the dictionary and are used today for an entire sector of music fandom. It's
100%.
based off of this, you know? So that is enough for me to warrant its place as in the top 5. That's our number 5. And as we continue to go down, now we're getting back into the modern shit. Damn.
Shout out XQC who's live reviewing this right now.
Shout out to XQC who's also live reviewing this chat. Tell XQC to come watch this stream. Tell XQC to come and watch this and see if he agrees with our takes on our list. Because I don't know how he feels about any of this shit. I really don't know what he's a fan of musically. So I'm interested. Chat, tell me if you jump between streams and let me know what he's saying so that we can respond to it here. But number 6, damn, not my favorite Kendrick album by any means. But
why is that not your favorite Kendrick album?
This is my least favorite Kendrick album.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Like the only song I like on this shit is Duckworth. Like everything else is just so like. But I think the reason I don't like this album is because of how popular it was. I heard it on the radio so fucking much that like the song with Rihanna. What the fuck is that shit called?
You're talking about is it Loyalty? Loyalty.
Yes, yeah, Loyalty. Like I can't stand that fucking song. Like there's just certain records that just got ruined to me because of its success. So it's like that is a personal problem I have with it. It obviously fucking won a Pulitzer. You know, it's a critical darling. It has. I understand and respect why people hold it to the prestige that they do. You know, what do you think of it?
I mean, well, I first of all, I feel like you made a backhanded, like fucking argument for it. Like your take is that it was so
I
massive
acknowledge that.
And
It was so popular that I grew to dislike it.
Yeah.
But that's why we don't just base this shit off of our own personal taste, because even me not liking it is because of something that is a reason why it should be where it's at. You know, like I am not damn Hive by any means.
I mean, I think for me, it's like Damn was when you saw really Kendrick take the shift, you know, so like now it's like a superstar, it's obvious to everyone, but that wasn't always the case. You know, Kendrick was doing smaller rooms, even when he was doing critically acclaimed shit like Good Kid or Section 80, you know, he wasn't doing arenas. He wasn't necessarily even trying to make anthems. And I think that was when, you know, he drops to Pimp a Butterfly, which is on this list also. And that's like a very like kind of like hard album to kind of stomach in a lot of ways. This shit was just all hitters, all bangers, all hooks, like shit knocked. You know, like I think that there was like a certain energy that he's taking over to this new era where he has completely embraced being a rap superstar. You know, and so yeah, I don't think you get GNX. I don't think you get Not Like Us without all the shit that he learned with Dan, but also going on that fucking tour, which I went to actually a couple of those shows.
Yeah.
And so, you know, yeah, I think that it gets one to hand. And yeah, I think just like, even if you take away the success, like the rapping on here is crazy. You know, he does like the high concept shit where you can listen to the album
in reverse and it's,
I don't know, some people might find that a little corny or whatever, but I do think that there is like an intentionality and a quality and yeah, I don't know. To me, it's clearly the best Kendrick album.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, like it's super divisive in the sense of like what the best Kendrick album is. A lot of people will point to Paper Butterfly. A lot of people will point to Good Kid, Mad City. I think we have both of those
We do.
albums. So Kendrick is one of the few people who has 3 albums on this list. All deserving though, all deservingly so. But yeah, you know, Duckworth is my favorite song because of the way that it does that backward storytelling, and it's like you can reverse it, and he's telling, once you get to the end of the song, you learn that it's like his dad like almost got killed by fucking
All this other shit.
Top Dog and shit. Like it's like a crazy end to an album, and also just like encapsulates his entire life. And I remember like fucking the theories back when the album came out of like that he was gonna drop another album called Nation, and it was gonna be Damn Nation, and like I remember like that's the fun part about it though. It's like when albums are that culturally relevant, you have, you know, groups of rap fans trying to decipher it and like find Easter eggs and shit. That's what I think is a testament to a great album.
Yeah, everyone's like locked the fuck in. So it's like
Mhm.
you want that level of engagement, you know, even if it's like, so like, I guess there's a lot of pressure. Like I just put this shit out. You want to put another album out?
Yeah,
but,
right.
You know, yeah. So I don't know.
So yeah, and yes, chat. Right after Damn, at number 7, we have Take Care. And honestly, I didn't even really realize this until just now. Like this was not intentional. We
definitely was not intentional.
Like we did not put Drake and Kendrick next to each other on purpose. But Take Care, number 7.
You talk about this album because this is important.
Yes, I think that understandably, Take Care, people who believe that Take Care is Drake's best album. I think that Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This Is Too Late are all like there, you know, and it's just like matter of opinion of who you think, like what album you think is the one. But we landed on Take Care, and I think that Take Care definitely encapsulates a lightning in a bottle, rare moment that we will never see again from Drake, in the sense that he was still being honest about embarrassing things that he was going through to become Drake. Whereas now, you know, he's obviously so rich, so famous, so successful that he's making bars about, you know, the Masoni room at the Bibelots and shit that people don't understand, and like
I didn't understand.
Making fun of people who fucking for your birthday your boyfriend bought a party bus. Like now he's kind of gotten so rich that his music's not even relatable, as he said. But at this time, he was, you know, I wrote this blurb and I like quoted The Ride. You won't feel it, you want it so bad you tell yourself you're in it and tell the world around you that the paperwork is finished, and steal your mama's debit card so you can maintain the image, and ride around in fucking overpriced rental cars that ain't tinted. You need a minute, you got it. That bar is because he would dead ass rent out a fucking Rolls Royce for $5,000 a month to maintain the image of being a rapper before he was an actual successful rapper. But it's like that type of honesty is what Take Care is all about. Like you don't get a Marvin's Room, you don't get a Shot For Me, you don't get like all of these, you know, classic R&B rap Drake songs without that level of transparency. And I think that's why Take Care is his best album, and that's why we have it in the top 10. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched a lot about like what his mindset was, and like, yeah, you had a more kind of like, you know, this was the era where people were still calling Drake soft and all this shit like that. And I think why Take Care is probably the best Drake album is because it's like, you know, you saw kind of like the whole rap game. Like I feel like this might be the first like global rap album where he was like really locking in on all these different global sounds, and kind of like that moodiness. And I don't know, it's like you really did see other rappers like shift and do something similar. And yeah, I don't know. He touches so many pockets. He gets to the boom bap shit. He, you know, on Lord Knows,
you know, Hypher, like
yeah, right. You know, and yeah. So I don't know. I think we'll talk about this later, but I think there's like it's clearly the best Drake album. Will that be the same answer 10 years from now? I don't necessarily think that's true, but
Look,
Yeah.
B Fred in the chat talk about nothing was the same over Take Care. And B Fred, I can't say that I disagree with you, but
It's
again,
views.
it's yeah. And you know what? I guess we could address this briefly right now because there were some comments, and we'll get into the comments once we get through this top 10, but there were some comments about people wanting views. And let me just be the one to say it. I don't give a fuck. I was in fucking what? College, high school, college, end of high school, beginning of college when fucking Views came out. What was that? That was summer 2016?
We're going on 10. What's this?
Or in that era, 2014, 2015,
It was
2016.
14, I want to say.
Matter of fact, let me just fucking look
16,
it up.
16, 16.
16. Okay,
Yeah.
that was summer 2016. I know we all have these endearing memories about fucking summer 16 and all that shit. But listen, bro, Views is not that fucking good. I'm gonna just fucking say it. I like Views. I like the title track at the end. Okay, I like 9. I like a lot of the fucking records. Like I like Western Road flows and shit, but like when you're talking about Drake, and yes, I'll say this, Views compared to other people's albums is much better. But when you're scaling Drake albums to Drake albums, you're holding him to a different standard because of the standard he set for himself. Views is not better than Take Care. Views isn't better than Nothing Was the Same. Views isn't better than fucking If You're Reading This It's Too Late. That's just facts. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Well, bro, let me ask you: have you ever seen have you ever changed your mind on an album?
Yeah, all the time.
Right. So why? Because I agree. I was there. I was outside when Views was out, and like the sense like, no, this is not it.
Yeah.
But it's also, to me, what I notice is that when you have an album that's like people hate, but is actually very successful. I think Views is about to go diamond.
Yeah.
It's still his biggest first week sales. It's I do think that like that tends to lead to like, this is the best of an artist. You ask anyone of a certain age, basically 24 and under, Views is the album, right?
Yeah, but like I'm of that age. Oh, you said 21 and under?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I don't know. I don't know what the kids would say about Views, but I like Views, but like the Views inflation that happens every fucking year.
But that shit always happens to albums though, bro.
But Views is different because like Views people overinflate. Like I'm all for like, a few years down the line, you're saying, oh, like, I don't fucking know. Migos Culture is like one of the best Atlanta rap albums of all time.
Wow.
I'm all for that. I'm for that agenda. But it's like Views? I could argue that Scorpion is better than Views.
Nah, come on.
But that's not what we're here for. The Views, we're not here to promote Views fucking propaganda. I don't give a fuck what you say, chat.
I think Views should have been on there and
Clip this shit. Fuck Views, bro. Okay? Views is not top 3 Drake. Views don't even know if it's top 5 Drake. Respectfully. Okay? I might put motherfucking Her Loss over Views. Keeping it a bean.
Nah, come on.
Clip that shit.
Come on, you're crazy.
Anyway.
You were just singing along to fucking
I could rap bar for bar a lot. I got Views open right now. Like, I know all of these songs word for word. Like Western Road Flows, I did this shit for my nigga Rennie. Like I know it.
Let's go.
But because I know it, that's why I can speak to it like that. I'm not jacking it. But anyway, let's get through this damn top 10, man. So Take Care is number 7. Number 8 is Blonde. B Fred, I need you to put down the chat for this segment. Okay. Number 8 is Blonde. I mean, this one is interesting because I think this is one of those, we're out of Unk territory now, chat. This is one of those albums that I feel like is really emblematic of my generation in the sense of like, if you are 25 or older, like 23, 24 and older, it's like this, I feel like was a lot of people's seminal album that like helped them through that developmental period, post-grad, about to graduate college. Like he did that show, I forget where that show was. Like his like, it's like that one really.
He did. It wasn't. It's a festival, right?
Yeah, it was a festival. I can't. One of my homegirls.
Paramount.
Some shit like that. But it's like this is like that album, the lore around it, him doing the stream. Honestly, he was kind of one of the first artists to do the live stream album rollout shit when he was like building the fucking
for Endless.
Yeah, he was building the shit live for mad long on that broadcast and nobody knew what he was doing. But I love Blonde because I think there's like, and again, this is all subjective when you're talking about songs that you love or whatever, but it's like, I think Godspeed is a perfect song. Like, I think there are perfect songs on this album. And like, does it have the crazy chart success or radio appeal as some of these other albums? No. But I think the cohesiveness, how you can play this from top to bottom, and even if the story isn't as in your face as other albums on this list, there's still a narrative structure and a through line to it that you get from like the Pretty Sweet, Pink Plus White Ferrari, Ivy. Like, I think there's just like so many records on here that are beautifully composed, beautifully put together, and it feels, everything about this album feels intentional. None of it feels like a radio play, a chart play, but it organically became what it is. The lore for it organically happened without him forcing it at all. And that's why I think people are fiending for the follow-up, because similar to Rihanna, this shit came out in 2016. Obviously, we haven't gotten anything from it yet. Frank, if you're watching, give us something, hopefully.
I don't think it's happening.
You know, never say fucking never, but you know, that the album is, you know, I think stamped.
Yeah, I mean, I think like most classic albums, you know, there has to be a good story behind it. You know, I think the lore, you know, when he drops, if you don't know, he drops Endless, and that's like his last album on Def Jam, and then people think that's the album, and then, you know, Endless is cool, but it's not full of like anthems or so, you know, it's very kind of like, I don't know, like background kind of that's not nice. But anyway, and then 24 Hours he drops Blonde, right? Which is like all-time classic, amazing songs, just kind of like very lush. You mentioned Godspeed, but it's like Nikes, it's Ivy, like it's Pink and Blue, like it's Nights, like just fucking play Nights, right? Like a perfect song. And yeah, I think it's one of those. This is another artist I don't think we'll get another album from. I think he'll pull a Lauren, and I think that's.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I don't know. I think he did it right. Like, you know, I'm not even sure how interested he is in following it up.
Yeah,
and so I think that also helps, because I think the album is of high quality, and like this is it, right? You're not really getting more after this. I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but so yeah, easily could have been higher, but easily top 10 of the last 25 years.
Definitely could have been higher. Also, chat, if you're just tuning in, we are breaking down our top 50 albums of the 21st century. We're going through our top 10. We're at number 8 right now, Frank Ocean's Blonde, officially out of Unk territory. We're gonna get into the commentary. We dropped this list earlier today, and there's already some internet chatter. We're just trying to give you some context on why we put the albums where we did, because when you see it online, you just see the albums and the ranking, you don't see the explanations. I highly implore you to go on complex.com and read the blurbs that all these writers, including ourselves, did to explain why these albums are where they are. A lot of time, energy, and effort goes into these lists and explanations on why we picked them where we did. So shout out to all the writers also who wrote on this. I think John Barlis wrote this blurb. Big shout out to John.
Okay, John.
Who also works on our social team. Shout out to all the writers in general. So that is Blonde, Frank Ocean at number 8. Number 9, Beyonce, self-titled. I think that, I mean, there's also a few Beyonce albums on this list. We have Lemonade that we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. That's below Whole Lotta Red. But yeah, you want to talk about why self-titled was the one that we had as essentially the best Beyonce album of this century?
I mean, fucking invented the album drop, right? Literally out of nowhere, just drops like a fully realized, beautiful adult album, like just videos for every song. You know, like, I don't think people realize how radical.
Wait, hold on. We're getting rated.
Uh-oh.
Yo, any reason there isn't rodeo? We'll get there, Control. We're getting right now. The chat is blowing up. Shout out to whoever threw this link somewhere. Now we getting overwhelmed in Twitch.
Oh my
God.
God.
Rodeo. We're gonna get there, chat. We're talking about Beyonce self-titled. Someone said that Beyonce way too high up. why is she not way too high up? She's in the top 10, but why is she deservedly?
I mean, it's one of the like the defining albums of the last. I mean, of the 2010s, right? And I think that like you know, all of Beyonce albums are pretty good, but I think she took a real like step up and just sort of like you know, investing in the idea of what an album should be.
Yeah.
Right. Like it should have some level of like momentum, some through lines, like storyline. She was very like sexed up. I don't feel awkward saying this, but you know, like she was very sexy in this album in a way that she wasn't in previous albums. Yeah, I don't know. It's like when you think of 2013, it's like you think of that Beyonce, you see that font.
I see.
You know,
they're saying XQC saw our message. Shout out to XQC.
What's up,
guess
bro?
XQC's chat is running up our chat. XQC is saying that Beyonce is underrated, is overrated. XQC, you're bugging. Shout out to XQC, but you're bugging. Drunken Love is a classic. Like, I have the track list open right here, chat, so that y'all can see. Because, like, come on now, y'all. Like, there's certain records on here, Flawless. Drunken Love, like, y'all know, even if you don't fuck with Beyonce, which you're kind of bugging if you don't fuck with Beyonce, you got to grow up a little bit. If you don't fuck with Beyonce, like, Partition, there's a lot of like Mind. There's Drake's on this album. You feel me? Like, where any XQC pulled up. Shout out to XQC, man. WXQC in the chat, man. What up? If y'all are just tuning in, we're breaking down our top 50 albums of the 21st century, giving y'all the reasoning and explanations on why we picked the albums we did. We ran through the top 10. If you're just tuning in, you might be a little bit late and you just happen to come in at Beyonce, which is funny enough. But big shout out to XQC. I would love to. I'm going to watch your stream once we get out of here so I can hear what you think of our list. I think our top 10 is pretty solid.
I think it's a great fucking top 10. I don't know what people are talking about.
Like, and I feel like this is a chat. I feel like y'all fuck with this project. And honestly, chat, also, if you're just tuning in, I was just shitting on views, so you're late. I feel like y'all would have fucked with that segment. But we're at number 10, which is The Weeknd's House of Balloons.
Yes.
I'm not a Weeknd guy.
Never?
I'm not. Shout out to The Weeknd. Love to the XO, but like I got on The Weeknd mad late, so it's like I was never like a House of Balloons. Like that wasn't my era, you know. Like I was more like a King of the Fall. Like I was listening to some of shit on SoundCloud, but like that was kind of further down the line. So
I mean, the first tape was so edgy and so kind of like raw and like really influential. And if someone had mentioned, I remember this vividly, like Nostalgia Ultra, which is the Frank Ocean tape, came out. And then like, you know, that was like the kind of like the talk of the town or whatever. And then The Weeknd drops his tape and like, it just kind of like dominated the season. Right. And, you know, people always talk about how much Drake might have, let's just say like adopted or, you know, collaborated. But yeah, I don't know. That's like a hugely definitive mixtape. Like everything in there slaps. Low key invented the beat change, I would say. Like, you know, people were switching beats, but like not how The Weeknd did it. Like you could hear a lot of that and like a lot of Travis shit. So yeah, shout out to The Weeknd, man. It's fucking classic.
Yeah, The Weeknd definitely wrote a lot of fucking Take Care, which is number 7 on our list. Everyone's asking, why is there no Nickelback, Linkin Park? This, first of all, okay, so chat.
Shout out Welty.
Shout out Welty. First of all, chat, this is not just a hip hop and R&B ranking. There's pop records on this list, okay? If you go through the full top 50, in fact, I can show you our full top 50. Number 50 is Purpose by Justin Bieber. Whether you fuck with that or not, your decision, you know, your musical taste and choice. But we didn't just have hip hop and R&B albums. However, this is also fucking complex, okay? If you wanted,
we have
Linkin
0
Park,
rock albums.
I mean, look, I fuck with Green Day. Chad's talking about that country pop Beyonce. All right, we're not talking about that, chat. Like, there's other genres that have classic albums. No, it's facts. Look, that's facts. However, like number 1 is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think we kind of broke this down at the beginning of the stream, but that felt like an obvious pick because of how much that album penetrated not just hip hop, but pop culture at large. At the same time, as Kanye was like blackballed after the VMA moment with Taylor, it was like this critical point in his life and career where he bunkered down, went to Hawaii, and made a classic album. That's why it's our number 1 pick. And yeah, there's a lot of rap on here, but
also, I mean, like, who are we fooling? The last 25 years have been dominated by hip hop and rap. other genres
Talk
have
about it.
been explicitly at this point like taking how they distribute the music, how they record the fucking music. You know, like the part of the country's big wave is how much they're adapting from hip hop. This is happening in pop stars. So like, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, part of it is complex, but part of it is like what has really been the bloodline, the fuel line of music of the last 25 years has been hip hop.
Yeah, like
You know, I don't know what to tell you, you know?
yeah, like literally, like go to your playlist. How much fucking rock do you have in there, and keep it a bean, okay? And so it's like, yeah, exactly. You made the point perfectly. Yeah, what rock albums do you think deserve to be in the top 50 albums of the 21st century? Chat, I would love to hear it. But honestly, that segues us perfectly into y'all's commentary and what we might have missed. We will go to the Twitter webs. Shout out to the good brother Kirko on Twitter, who
Shout out Kirko.
you know, tweeted out our list, and there was some commentary. Some of the top tweets was "Whole Lotta Red" over "Love Is Rage 2." So maybe we should get into that.
So Love Is Rage 2 is not on.
Yeah, there is. Is there a Uzi?
There's no Uzi.
There is no Uzi.
If
on
it was
our
Uzi,
list.
it would be Love Is Rage 2. We talked about Love Is Rage 2.
Yeah, we talked about Love Is Rage 2. I think we talked about Eternal Take. We talked about some Uzi joints. But yeah, there's no Uzi on the list, chat. B-Fred's over here playing devil's advocate in the fucking chat.
What is he saying?
Talk about True, Tame Impala should have been on the fucking
Well,
list. All right, maybe.
Correct. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I'll take that take.
Limp Bizkit, Green Day.
No,
Early
not no
Blink.
fucking Limp Bizkit. Come on.
Early Blink. All right, now. So it's top 10 pop R&B rap albums of the 21st century. No, it is the top 25. It's the top 50 albums of the 21st century, chat. Okay? I get it. I hear what y'all are saying.
I mean, also, it's like if you go back to like 1996 and then like the top fucking albums of the last 25 years, how many rap albums would have been on it? It would have probably been all alternative rock shit. So like, whatever, man.
Yeah, the times change. Yeah, if this was a 20th century list, completely different conversation. But in the last 25 years, Shaq, you're not keeping it a bean if you don't think in the last 25 years, hip hop and R&B having controlled pop culture and music at large. I can understand that you have your own personal preferences, and that was one of the reasons we had the breakdown of why we ranked things where we did. It's not all about the personal preference. It's about long tail impacts. There's a whole, let me just go back to our intro that Dimas so eloquently described, but we have a criteria system. We weren't just picking our favorite R&B and hip hop albums. You know, like there was a grading system at play here. Like when we say best, we're factoring in quality, impact at the time, and the album's long tail influence. So I hear you, chat. If you feel like the impact of fucking Green Day is warranting a spot on the list, I respect that. But then add in the other aspects that we're using to factor our picks. That's all I'm asking for you, chat.
You said that perfectly.
Shout out to XQC. But I think, again, perfect segue into... In fact, where's everybody tuning in from? We got New York, we got Brazil.
What are they saying in Brazil? Shit.
Facts. What are y'all listening to in Brazil, man? Like, also, why is Rodeo...
Rodeo is an interesting one.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Why
Yeah,
Rodeo?
so the Travis album we have is Astro World, which we
Yes.
all agreed is the best Travis album. But Rodeo is a classic too. Kind of like the moment that really kind of like, Travis has obviously been bubbling for a while, but the moment that really kind of like established him, classic album.
Mm-hmm.
Again, one of those albums where you can kind of like see it. You remember that era so vividly, the fucking doll, all that shit. I just think that, it's just not fucking with Astroworld, transparently, which was just like world conquering in its own kind of way.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like no one made the real strong argument like, no, it has to be on there. It has to be on there. Well, I don't know. What's your take?
I mean, I definitely am. I would say I'm days before Rodeo Hive, to be honest.
We split the vote?
Yeah, like I'm neither Rodeo nor Astroworld. I'm days before. However, to Dimas' point, I think Astroworld, the long tail impact, like Travis was always good at world building in small ways, the Rodeo action figure and building that narrative thread between Days Before Rodeo and Rodeo. But Astroworld was literally an event It was a festival. It was an entire, now Travis Scott is a franchise. Like Travis Scott is a business. This, I think, was the beginning of that, of him franchising himself. Like he started his business. He started turning himself into a business when he made an action figure for himself, I would argue. But then he really took it to the next level and stepped with Astroworld. Astroworld is more mainstream, but Rodeo is better sonically. Blue, I fuck with that.
That's
I
a good
fuck with that take.
You know what? I can't even mad at that.
I fuck with that take.
Shout out Blue.
Shout out to Blue, man. Shout out to San Antonio, California, Detroit. Shout out to everybody. Blue, you from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. I don't think we have any Detroit rap on here, unfortunately.
No, we have Eminem.
Oh, facts. Yeah, Eminem is in our top 5, Blue. So shout out to Detroit, man. And W's in the chat for everybody tuning in, man. We an hour deep into this motherfucker. But yeah, so that's why Rodeo isn't on the list and Astroworld is where it is. And so to get back into the Whole Lotta Red conversation, and why Whole Lotta Red, I mean, do you want to just talk about why Whole Lotta Red is on the list or why it is ranked where it is? There's no Dialect. There's no music.
No. Yeah, it's interesting. Music would have been a tough one. Dialect is interesting because that's like a fucking classic.
No self-titled.
I mean, listen, I love all the Cardi albums. I think Whole Lotta Red is one of the newer albums. We don't have a lot of post 2020 albums on there, but it is one of the newer ones. And I think you saw the kind of impact that it had on like just a whole generation, like instantly, right? And it kind of like obviously you had parts of Rage all throughout, elements that you were seeing were trippy or Triple X or whatever, but he really just built the blueprint of like that sound, and I don't know, man, that shit is a banger. Not every song on there, but majority of the songs on there go. Yeah, it's interesting because like
looking at our resident Cardi heads, Antonio, Nick Bianco, in the motherfucker. Do y'all have what do y'all take? Why do y'all think like Whole Lotta Red so much? Like,
bro, it invented rage. Like you're literally the first time having rage, like in the mainstream,
Our young intern said that Whole Lotta Red invented rage. That's contentious though, Antonio. I made a video about the invention of rage rap.
He maybe not invented, but definitely he said it better. He said put it in the mainstream, right? Because that was like 100%. A smash album, bro. We were at the tour, and he did Stop Breathing, bro. Like fucking crazy. Like Stop Breathing is like what, I don't know, like just like this is the first time I see him perform that song live. I lost my shit, right? And so I don't know, man. It's and obviously you have all the Cardi babies. You saw elements of this with Young Thug, where you had a lot of people knocking his shit off, Gucci Man, etc. Cardi has like the whole landscape belongs to him. Che, Osama Son, you covered all these guys. That's Ben.
Yep, that's a fact.
You hear some of it with Yeet, right? Like it's all like you could see the through line was straight to a Whole Lotta Red. Easily could have been like a top 10 album. Yeah,
I think that Whole Lotta Red, even though I remember, what was it, Christmas? I remember Christmas Day. Shout out to our old head of music, Eric Skelton. I remember the sheer panic he went into in our Slack when a Whole Lotta Red dropped on Christmas, and he loves Cardi, so we had to like really lock in. And it was just like, that was one of those, again, cultural moments. Am I a Whole Lotta Red person? No, I'm a Dialect guy if we're talking about Cardi albums. But Sky is like a record that I remember hearing live for the first time, I think at a Rolling Loud. And live Cardi is a different experience. If you're a non-believer, seeing him live, I remember when he, at another Rolling Loud, when he did music, he was teasing music, and he played, I think it was Cocaine Nose. And this is before the album came out, and it was just like the electric guitar, like him. Y'all talking about there's no rock albums on this shit. This is damn near a rock album. Like, we talk about Lil Wayne Rebirth, Be Fresh, shout out Lil Wayne Rebirth.
No, we don't have to.
Okay, listen, everybody's Lil Wayne's sons in the rap space to a certain degree who have touched rock, because Rebirth was, Wayne had the electric guitar. Wayne was doing rock music as a rap superstar. So there are the predecessors who we have to obviously pay homage to. But like you just said, like Cardi has taken this shit to just a whole nother level. Like best mosh pits. Yeah. What's the best mosh pit songs Sorry, but Dialect clears Whole Lotta Red. Yo, me and Blue are locked in.
I
agree,
that's
Blue.
not the worst take, you know.
But Whole Lotta Red, again, to Dimas' point, it's set in motion.
Bro, to the point you said about it drop, like I remember vividly, I was doing family time on Christmas. And it's like, how can I get the fuck away from these people to go listen to this album?
Yo.
Because it was like all I was thinking about all day.
That's fucked up. He went to go fucking rage instead of be with his family on Christmas.
You can't really rage anywhere, but
that's some real YBL shit, bro. But yeah, that's why we have Whole Lotta Red where we do. And mind you, Whole Lotta Red is above SOS by SZA, Lemonade, fucking Ghostface Killah, Supreme Clientele. That's also like, I think the most challenging part about making lists like this is when you have to put albums next to other albums that are in different genres, completely different categories, and compare them. Not one-to-one comparisons, obviously, but it's like you have to say why. You have to make the argument for why Whole Lotta Red.
Yeah, a lot of times when we make these lists, people are like, oh, this shouldn't have been ranked because it's different things.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, that's coward like mindset.
Yeah.
Like what everyone thinks of these things in rankings,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's really just trying to find like some sort of collective, like we could all participate. We don't all have to agree,
Mm-hmm.
but we all need to participate. And that means it needs to be ranked, and we need to put our stamp on it. You know, yes, Playboy Cardi's fucking Whole Lotta Red is better than Beyonce's Lemonade. Right?
Clip that, chat.
It might sound crazy to someone.
That.
It don't sound crazy. You know, yes, Whole Lotta Red is better than Drake's Nothing Was the Same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you stamp it.
We got the crew is like, what the fuck?
Niggas get mad
But
at
that's when you say you stamp it. I see someone in the chat saying, why is Supreme Clientele so low? We're not getting back into Unk chat, all right? We're in modern day.
Now we're talking.
But and also right above Whole Lotta Red is its predecessor, Yeezus. There would be no Whole Lotta Red if it wasn't for Yeezus, which is at number 14. Yeah, so I saw a lot of chatter about Whole Lotta Red. What else did I see? Did you see anything that stuck out to you? I'm just scrolling through Twitter right now.
Well, yeah, I think what stuck out to me, like we talked about Love Is Rage. We talked a little bit about Views.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I see? I think some people had issues with Damn being so high.
Okay.
Talked a little bit about this, especially in comparison to Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, I think
we got Blue talking about Graduation should have been higher than Yeezus. I did see a lot of Graduation love, and we don't have Graduation on the list, do we?
we do.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, it's where did we put it? It's 27.
27?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I don't know. I get why people love Graduation, but I don't think that it's that. Like to me, I mean, we can get into our own personal where we think certain albums should have been maybe later, but yeah, I don't know. I think Graduation is kind of right where it should be.
I think why people think fondly about it is Graduation was what Kanye really started to make those arena anthems. Those
Shutter Shade Glasses era,
yes.
Glow in the Dark tour.
The Glow in the Dark tour, right?
Yes.
Can't Tell Me Nothing as a,
fair.
And I think that's become his definitive mode for most of his career.
Yeah.
So, I understand, and also that is like the album where he beat 50 Cent, which was like a juggernaut.
Yeah.
So I understand the argument, but there's just some kind of like mid on the album.
Yeah, Drunken Hot Girls is objectively a terrible song.
Terrible.
So
even like something like Flashing Lights, which I know was really popular back then, but sounds kind of corny now.
You don't believe in shooting stars, but do you believe in shoes and cars, Dimas?
I mean, I believe in shoes and cars.
So then you should feel flashing lights. Okay, yeah. I saw a lot of commentary about Graduation. Was there anything else? Let me see. I'm going through all the social media pages. Shout out to NFR. Y'all got kicked off of Twitter, but I still fuck with you. I'm on your Instagram.
Free NFR.
Free NFR till it's backwards, man. NFR's comments. Yeezy. I love Yeezus, but either 808s, TCD.
We should probably talk about 808s because I didn't make the list, and I feel like there's a strong argument that it should have.
Yeah, but 808. I mean, yeah. I guess the 808s conversation is like the chicken or the egg of Kid Cudi, because doesn't Kid Cudi say that he inspired 808s.
I don't know if he says that. He definitely was in those sessions. Definitely had like a heavy kind of hand on it, similar to T-Pain, but that's another story. But you know, I don't think that's like a strike against it. Like what you feel like because like it has Kid Cudi's hands that.
Well, I think that in terms of the albums that Kanye did this century that changed the trajectory of music, right? Because we're also not trying to overload this list with one person like we talked about earlier. Yeezus set in motion a lot of the rage rap shit that turned into a whole lot of red. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the best album of the century. And then Graduation, to the point you were just making, set in motion a lot of the arena rap songs and like rap just entering larger spaces in a different way than just in the classic boom bap, you know, club anthems.
Yeah.
It went from club anthems to arena anthems with Graduation, one might argue.
What? Yeah.
But with 808s, it kind of transitioned into like the more, you know, auto-tune, techno shit that other people were doing. So I would say that the influence that 808s had relative to the other Kanye albums is the least.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's more because you can make the argument. Well, T-Pain was doing a version of this, maybe not as like dark, right, or as like downbeat, and that really 808 was just like additive and kind of like extending that. And then someone like Future would take it and extend it even further. Versus like the other albums felt new. Even something like College Dropout, which before he dropped out in an era where most of the popular art was just like street shit. He was someone that was like, I'm just gonna make not even a conscious record, but just like a nice guy kind of record, right? Of just like I like nice clothes and like it was like there was like a wholesomeness about it that really you saw the influence pretty quickly. And so, I think that's a fair argument that 808s isn't exactly as kind of, you even saw it with Wayne, right? Where something like, what's the song? What's the song he had about, oh man. But you saw versions of 808 with someone like Lil Wayne, where he was doing the auto-tune stuff, but in a way that was like very kind of downbeat, a little depressing, slower, but still
like
catchy.
How to Love?
Not How to Love. It's not Pussy Monster, but it was another one.
Do you remember the album that it's off of?
Well, it was it was all like mixed.
Oh, okay, mixtape era.
Yeah, it's like I Feel Like Dying, all that other. Now it's too deep cut here, but I think that so like I think that's a fair argument. It's not as radical as some of the other albums that Kanye would do.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so that's the Kanye of it all. I'm also seeing in the chat, also Igor should have replaced Call Me If You Get Lost. That's a
good take.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
not
solid
mad.
argument. Like we have Call Me If You Get Lost at 37, which, this is the only Tyler that's on here. I definitely think that there is an argument for Igor deservingly to have earned the spot on here. I don't know. I think that, but I feel like Call Me If You Get Lost was kind of Tyler coming out of his cocoon. Yeah. Igor was the cocoon, like fully formed, if that makes sense. Like even I feel like in a lot of the imagery, and then him transforming into like now Call Me If You Get Lost, the character that he is here is himself. Like he is using his real name on the cover art. And it feels like he's now being fully himself in this album where Igor, he's still playing a character. And he plays a character in every album. I mean, he plays a character in Cornucopia, but like this feels like, I don't know, a defining moment for him after, I would say, maybe a hot take, Tyler really started making good music, quote unquote. Like,
that's tough, bro.
I don't even know if I jack fucking Flower Boy. Like, I think I would say like, Igor on is when like his shit actually gets listenable. No shade.
Listenable.
Not listenable. No cap. Because I like fucking Yonkers and shit. But like it gets mature. It becomes adult. It becomes like him being his fucking pretentious self now. It becomes that when it gets to Igor on. So
yeah, I mean I think I think that's a great point. And to add to it, to the point we were making earlier, it's also his most like hip hop album in the sense that he's paying homage to DJ Drama mixtapes, right? Like, and now that's become more, I guess, like a lot of rappers are doing that shit. But this is someone, you know, he wears his influences on his sleeve. I think a lot of times he was getting shoved in all these other like genres and places. And he was like, you know what? Let me show niggas I can make a pure rap album that sounds like 2000. And I'm gonna get drama in. I'm gonna go crazy on this. I'm gonna have a young boy on this, yada yada. And to me, it's his best. It's the best Tyler album. Even though I do like Goblin and some of the older shit. I think it's I don't know, you know.
I do too, but like top to bottom, I don't know if I'm really listening to that.
Let's go play Wolf. Come on.
All right. On that note, all right, chat. We've been on this hole for a little bit. We've been going through the top 50 albums of the 21st century, our list that came out earlier today. We went through the top 10. We were highlighting. Y'all just be saying whatever in here. We've been highlighting some of the albums that y'all have said stood out, that you feel like should have been on here or that we might have missed. But to wrap it up, man, I think, what's your favorite album on this list?
Ooh, that's a good fucking question. The favorite, god damn.
Do you have one?
I mean, I do have. I will say that my favorite album on this list, I don't even know it's my favorite, but it's the album that I just want to talk about because I love it, is DS2.
Okay, Future. We didn't talk about Future.
We didn't talk about Future. Two, I think, to me, maybe one of my 3 favorite rappers of all time.
Okay.
2015 was Future at his pinnacle. Personally, I think 56 Nights is better, maybe the best rap album front to back of the 2010s. But DS2 kind of like just like takes everything from that era and he just makes like a smash album, right? In the same way that Get Rich or Die Trying is a smash, Life After Death is a smash, fucking The Chronic, right? It's just kind of like banger after banger, like so many iconic lines. What's the opening line on the album? Do I even have to ask? Right? You like you just know. I don't know. It's such a definitive time for me. Classic album, still holds up. 10 out of 10. I don't know. Like DS2 could have been higher. I was making the argument that it could have been a sneaky good number 1, right? Just for his influence, just how locked in he was. I think sometimes Future gets slept on as like a pure rapper, but he could spit his ass off. Like listen to Blood in the Water and then give me a call.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the album I'm writing for. What would you write for?
Man, you know me, man. We haven't gotten to my GOAT all day.
This isn't your favorite album of his, though.
It's not, but I still have to talk about him because we haven't talked about him. To all of the Cole stands, to all of the Dreamville Nation that's watching, shout out to the GOAT, J. Cole. 2014 Forest Hills Drive, ranked 29. Could have definitely been higher, chat. Could have 100% been higher. Shout out to everybody at Dreamville. Shout out to J. Cole. But yeah, this is not my favorite J. Cole album. My favorite J. Cole album is Born Sinner, but I know that I'm in the minority there. I know that, I think that this is a list of majority albums. There are some mixtapes on here, kind of.
Yeah, so we made the decision that if it was a mixtape, it had to be all new songs. It couldn't be like the Drought 3 or like a lot of the early Dipset stuff or whatever, whether it's taking other beats. So we have the A$AP Rocky mixtape or the Weekend tape, right? Because that's all new music. So it's like an album. That's our distinction. People will disagree with that. I think we're perfectly comfortable with that.
Yeah, like Friday Night Lights is probably, I would say, Cole's best project, but that is a mixtape. It's not an album. So that's why it wasn't in contention for this list. And 2014 Forest Hills Drive, even though it's not my personal favorite, it is obviously undoubtedly one of his most impactful, even for people who, I remember this was the era when everybody was calling Cole boring and corny, but there
was that the era?
Listen, there's, triple platinum, no features. Now it's, I think, 4 or 5 times platinum, no features, GOMD, no role models, records that still ring out to this day. And it distills to me everything that J. Cole is, from this guy who is becoming super famous, but not really wanting to accept the perils that comes with being in Hollywood, but wanting the rap throne. So he's like wrestling with this notion of competing for success, but then not wanting the glimmers that come with that gold. You know, January 28th, he says, you know, at the top, like, I'm not even gonna highlight January 28th. No, I'm thinking of Born Sinner. I was about to say fucking on Forbidden Fruit, but no, like top of the album, he's like, you know, like what he said, might be Slick Rick with 19 chains, you might be Drizzy Drake and Kendrick Lamar, but check the birth date, nigga, you ain't the god. The real is back, the real is back, full bananas here, peel this bag, and what your findings, your highness, comparing a picture that's vivid enough to kill by. Like, yeah, so it's like he has like the consciousness, but also the shit talking, and I love listening to it, even though it's not my favorite project. So
it's not your favorite project, but would you say it has his best rapping or no?
Would I say he doesn't have his best rapping? Honestly, no, I think that it's probably a toss-up between Off Season and this. The Off Season and this, I think, are probably up there. Or For Your Eyes is slept on. People shit on it because of Fold and Close and shit. But For Your Eyes, like the title track, For Your Eyes Only, is top 10 storytelling rap songs of all time. Anyway,
wow,
that is our list, the top 50 albums of the 21st century. Came out today. Chat, we appreciate you tuning in and listening to us yap about it. We hope we can do this again with more of our list that you may hate or love, so we can explain it for you, argue with you, and agree, and just talk about this rap shit that we all love, man.
Let's fucking go.
This was fun. Dimas, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
This has been a vibe. Chat, we love you, and I will see you next time. Peace.